Hello everyone, welcome back to Half Men Talk, Walk with Shane. Okay, welcome back everyone. What a week it's been. I just want to start off from the last video we made. So basically, I'll give you an update on my dad first, and then we'll talk about the week. So, as some of you remember, I said about my dad being poorly. So we was in hospital, in A&E, not in hospital, in A&E. Got sent home, blah blah blah. Okay, so I was on the update. So the other day, we had to get an ambulance out for my dad because pain was just way too bad. Couldn't handle it. So got an ambulance out for him, get him in. So we was in the hospital. Cut a long story short, my dad don't like hospitals at the best time. I don't think anyone does, because if you're there, you're either visiting someone ill or you're ill yourself. So it's never fun. But so what's come of that is he's got an appointment with I think it's the surgeon or osteopath. I can't remember. So basically, the issue of his back is progressing. It needs to be fixed, obviously. So they're going to be working on that. But we got a bit of time to plan it because it's going to be a back operation, and there's risk that comes with that. So it needs to be done properly, investigated. So that's good. Not good, but you know what I mean. And also at the same time, he's at home, as comfortable as he can be. Still in a lot of pain. He's still in a lot of pain. It is hurting him. So I'm going to pop around and see him later, take him some dinner, and try and get his spirits up. So thanks for all the messages of support that I've had, which means a lot personally. I've forwarded them on to my dad as well. He doesn't understand. Tick what? Tick who? You what? YouTube, eh? But no, he appreciates it nonetheless. So thank you very much for that. Okay. Now, it hammered it down with rain here yesterday and this morning. So I might end up slipping on my ass. You probably can't see it. So it's very, very muddy. So if it looks like I'm tiptoeing, it's because I am. Now, I've got a few things I want to talk about. It's not necessarily how my week's been, because I've been ill this week myself. I've caught the dreaded lurgy. I think most people have had it at some point this week, the last couple of weeks. It was my turn. Well, it wipes you clean, doesn't it? But still managed to get some work done as well. It's been a good week personally, as in work-wise. Managed to it was my highest record month for me, sales-wise. And we're doing really well as a company as well. So we're getting out there and making sales, which is obviously the whole idea. So really happy with that. Really happy with that. I had my bosses ring me up and say, it's like, well done, pat on the back. And that was really nice, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. You tell me, but it's not normal for me to be praised, but it was good. It made me feel good. It made me give me that impetus to keep going and go again, and so hopefully we'll have a good November. But yeah, that's it really. Not too much. I've been poorly. Work's been good as well. So a little bit stressful, as you can imagine, because my dad. So that's always been sort of back in the mind. But my boss, I couldn't ask for better bosses. Honest truth, he could see how much stress, and he offered me to let's go. I was like, no, let's stay focused. And so shout out to them. But so yeah, nothing really to sort of talk about on that front. I'm going for the cow field again, and they're all congregated in one spot. I bet they're saying, "Oh, there's that knobhead from last week." Don't look him in the eye, Shane. Okay, so something I want to talk about is just had a conversation with a friend of mine on the way here, and we was talking about how care, like people's showing their how they care, like in ways they do it. And now, me personally, I'm going to call you, I'm going to message you, I'm going to come around your house, and that's my not love language, you know what I mean? Like, that's the way I would show how I care. So I assume everyone's got to be the same. You see them in the background, hiding like lions in the dirty bastards. Leave them alone, Shane. They've left you alone. What's he saying? Yeah. So that's how I would show attention. And say, look, mate, I'm here, ring you, text us. But not everyone's going to show it the same way. That doesn't mean they don't care, right? Now, taking into account, I've been quite open on these videos of my struggles. And a part of me was very sort of like, oh, no one's bothered me, no one's called me, no one's come round. Initially, it was like, oh, Mitch, I didn't know you're struggling, la la. And then that's it. That's it. They leave it on your head to ring them, say, oh, mate, can you come round? I'm not feeling good. Can you come round? Can we go for a beer? Whatever, right? People haven't. Or so I think, right? Now, this is the thing. This is what I mean. So in my head, I'm expecting them to react the way I would react, right? But then had a really good think last night. And I was like, do you know what? I've got friends who, they're constantly sending me memes, some jokes, some serious, but it's constant. Now, that's their way of saying, mate, I care about you. I'm going to send you videos, But I didn't see it because in my head, I'm still thinking people should react the way I want them to react. But that's not the case. So, yeah, it's interesting because then when you actually stop and think, right, okay, this, that's their way. And that's, when you think of it like that, I think people react differently and they show their affections and cares differently. We don't read it, do we? We don't see it because we want them to react or care the way you would. So you're blind to it. So I suppose what I'm saying is I see it. And those people listening to this, they know who they are. So, thank you. I see you. And, yeah, keep them coming, mate. Well, it is interesting though, isn't it? Like, I'm one of these, man. Like, I do overthink. I think about the thought I just had. I think about the think. And I think most people do, but it's very interesting when you put it like that. And one of the other things I had a conversation with my friend about as well, where he's talking about putting yourself out there and getting no reaction and overreacting to no reaction and then going off and you're like, oh, fuck them then if they don't want this, oh yeah, la la la. And it does hurt. It does hurt. Like when you put a message out, you're like, oh guys, anyone up for this? And you get nothing back. So you don't put yourself out there as much, And like I said to him, it's like, that's why I done what I done. Fed up put in, oh, did you see that little jump then? Bastard, that was a tree trunk. I jarred my back. That's me out for 2 weeks. Jesus Christ. It's like Beirut round here. Don't know if you heard that. Someone just drove past in one of those mufflers on the back, they go pum, 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 pum. Gunshot city. Yeah, like, you don't want to put yourself out there. So don't. I'm in my bubble at the moment, and do you know what? It's funny because you do tend to get trapped in that bubble, but I'm not in it because I'm trying to sulk or show off, and I know it can come across like that sometimes. And hopefully my mate will understand what I'm trying to say to him. It's like, just take that step back, mate. Just take a step back. You don't have to put yourself out there. It's not a case of like, oh, where's they gone? It's concentrating on people that will spend time with you. That's all. Yeah, mumbling on. But yeah, I don't know. I think it makes sense. It's like, just concentrate on yourself for a while. It's coming up to Christmas now. Everyone stays in anyway. You don't have to have a large party of people, do you? It could be one or two people. Something to think about. I just want to touch a bit more on that. Like, humans, we're social animals. We need interaction, right? Now, I'm not saying I've got no one to talk to. I do. I do have people to talk to. I'm focusing on myself. I'm focusing on my family, relationships. You do tend to just sort of switch off sometimes because you're so worried about yourself, you forget everyone else. And it's weird when you have things to focus on that not necessarily is what you want to focus on. And obviously, I've had to focus on my dad at the moment. Just took my mind off things. It's been a tough old week, but these things, these things happen in life, and this is what I was on about in my last video, saying, you can't fully have peace because there's always something that gets in the way, and you're constantly on alert, which is, it's fine. But yeah, I don't know. Okay, so something I want to talk about, and to you, it's not going to mean much, but for me, it's a bit of a milestone. Now, I'll be quite open about how numb I feel at times, and that I don't really feel anything of joy. But this week, there was a moment at home. I was sat there, and I'm thinking, do you know when you went out for your birthday? So when I went for, so let me start then. So when I went out for my birthday meal with me, Becky, the girls, and Lila's boyfriend, and I sat there, and they were all talking and laughing and having a good time, and I felt it, man. Like, I felt it. I just felt so happy and joy and calm and content, and at the time I didn't register, like, I just felt it. And then so the other day, and I was sat there, and the kids were all just on their phones, and the missus was just working, and I was sat there and I was thinking, oh my god, I actually felt something, and I didn't register it. And then at that time, when I registered that I felt something, if that makes sense, I felt joy again, and I welled up a little bit. The missus obviously spotted it. So, what's up? I was like, and I told her, and she's like, oh, that's good, babe. She obviously didn't understand the significance of it, but yeah, it felt amazing, feeling joy again. We got in that autopilot, don't we? We don't really think, we don't feel like, and I've mentioned this so many times, not feeling anything, trying to get that sun away from me. But yeah, I felt it, man, and I can feel changes I've done and put in place. They're working. It felt good. Now let's hope it wasn't a fluke. But it's a start, isn't it? It's a start on that journey. It's that start, that feeling again, feeling that emotions, feeling good emotions. And do you know what? One of the things, do you know what? It's real funny because you might laugh at me, but I watched Inside Out 2 yesterday. I was let it my being ill. God, I'm sweating out today, I tell you. And I don't know if you've seen Inside Out 2. I know it's just, it's a kid's film. But there was, so basically the concept of it is Joy trying to control things all the time and trying, we're always trying to be happy, aren't we? People always want happiness, don't we? Of course we do. Who wants to be sad? But there's a point in it where she realizes all the things that she pushed to the back of her head is what makes you as a person. It's what makes you what you are. The bad, the good, everything. Everything. It fulfills you. And we forget that sometimes. We have to feel the bad. We have to feel the negative to appreciate the highs and lows. You know what I mean? So that was quite a poignant moment, I thought. I know. But, you've got to take what you can, when you can. Read into things. I'm not, don't get me wrong, I'm not like this cosmic sort of... But I do believe in some things. And, I've said it quite a few times about being in the right place at the right time, etc. But yeah, I'm just happy that I'm feeling again, Funny old game emotion, isn't it? I don't know if I can pull it down to, but it's got to be partly down to me exercising, sleeping. It's got to be playing a part. You think how many people are out there, and that when you speak to them and they're like, I'm not sleeping, magnifies everything, doesn't it? But yeah, don't worry, I'm at the next spot in a minute, so that sun will be out your eyes. But yeah, oh, that's a thing. I had my blood results back. Okay, let's talk about it. So I had my blood results back and got a message from the doctors. Mr. Mitchell, your cholesterol levels are slightly raised. We'd like to get you down with diet and exercise, etc., etc. That's what fuck's sake. Obviously, I have been exercising. Diet is not so much, but I have been exercising. So obviously, it takes a while, doesn't it, for these things to kick in. But you've got to start looking after yourself, haven't you? And I'm thinking, I'm 43 now. Those days of eating what you want gone. So yeah, I'm on the right path, but it's still a bit, disconcerting when your doctor's telling you you're a fat fuck and you need to sort it out. I mean, I did weigh myself, and when I had the bloods, he weighed me. I mean, my excuse is I had like jeans on and stuff like that, but I was like 13 stone, 13 and a half stone. Don't know how many pounds that is from my American watchers. They always laugh at us, don't they? Because what's stone? Well, don't worry about it. Can't borrow it. Or kilos, isn't it? Anyway. So yeah, so that was a bit like, ugh, all right. So I've got to lose a bit of weight, aren't we all? But yeah, overall, week's been good. Like I said, it's been very stressful with my dad. It gets you in your head, stuff like that. Because, when it's your parents, you always worry, don't you? They're your superheroes, aren't they? You never assume anything's going to happen to them. And then get to a stage of where everything starts happening to them and you're like, you just, I don't know, not mentally equipped yet to lose a parent. I know there are people probably watch this who have lost parents, and you know how hard that is. Death's nothing new to me. Either by design or of their own doing. I've lost quite a few friends over the years to them taking their own lives. It's not something you don't get numb to it, but death as a whole, it's not new. But they always say that, don't they? When you really truly become a man when you lose your dad. And if that's the case, I'm not ready to become a man. It's funny as well. I remember speaking to my mum and saying, like, oh, if you died tomorrow, was there anything you would want of us to have talked about? Was there anything you would want to say to me, or sort of, And it is true, you're not going to have those deep conversations every day with your parents, are you? Do you know what I mean? But when you know they're gone, or when you know they're going, all of a sudden, all these questions and all these answers you want, but it's too late. And I think, they're not these spiritual gurus that have all the answers. They're just people like me and you. But it's the connection, I read a lot about saying, like, there's only two people in this world that only ever want you to do better than them. That's your parents. In most cases, I'm not saying all cases. Obviously, there are some dickhead parents out there who don't deserve to have kids or to have children in their lives. But on the whole, I think most parents, they always want the best for their kids, don't they? And I'm saying for my girls, like, I obviously want the best for them, but to what extent do you meddle? Like, I want them to have their own lives. What's that saying? You want your kids to never need you, but always want you. And you're raising them to basically go out and live on their own and survive the world. Because that's another thing you can't teach your kids. You can't teach them how horrible the world is. They have to experience it. What you can do is just be the buffer, protect them to a certain extent. I don't mean physical violence or anything like that. I'm on about the hardship that life can bring. Relationships, jobs, losing your jobs, things like that can soon catch up with them. But yeah, I got a bit on next week. I've got to go to Birmingham for sales meeting, talk about next year's targets. That'll be fun. And then hopefully, it's a mad one. I was keep thinking about Christmas, and I know I shouldn't because it's literally just been Halloween. And I don't want to fall into that trap as everyone else, but I love Christmas. When they start banging the music on, that's when you know, don't you? Or Mariah Carey defrosting for Christmas, as everyone keeps saying. All right, well, that's been my week. Hopefully we've had a good little chat there. I've chucked a couple of things in. I'm tired today. It's took a lot of me being ill, but it's definitely hit me. But yeah, thanks again for watching. And I know these videos are not as controversial as when we first start, but that's the whole point. I don't want it to be that. I want us to talk about things that have been on my mind this week. So like and subscribe. Leave some comments what you'd like me to have a think about or talk about next week, and we can discuss that. So I've been Shane Mitchell. This has been Half a Men Talk, Walk with Shane, and I hope you have a great week. And as always, all the best. God bless.